40unbox.com here, and we're going to be checking out this article called Tesla's Model 3 is eligible for a 7,500 tax credit, making it cheaper than a Toyota Camry. Thought that would be kind of interesting because I think Toyota Camrys were, well, the public perception of the Toyota Camry is that it's one of the most reliable cars in the nation. So it's kind of interesting. So Tesla's rapid adjustment of its battery supply chain means all of its Model 3 vehicles qualify for federal U.S. credits that, along with other tax breaks, could lower its price to less than a Toyota Camry. The Biden administration on Tuesday confirmed that all Tesla Model 3 vehicles now qualify for 7,500 electric vehicle consumer tax credits after two versions were eligible for half the credits. So new battery sourcing rules went into effect in April that lowered the credit of the Model 3 standard range rear-wheel drive and long-range all-wheel drive to $3,750. Elon Musk Tesla last week on his website said that all versions of the Model 3 again qualify for the full credit, and the government confirmed the change on its fueleconomy.gov website. So a Model 3 starts at $40,240, and the price may fall to $25,240 when the 7,500 federal tax credit and another 7,500 from the California tax rebate kick in. So you got to be living in California, which is kind of interesting. Now I don't know if that's the only state that offers a rebate, so who knows? But it's kind of interesting, right? But also, I kind of find it interesting that this is in California because California tends to have a lot of electrical issues where they basically ask people, hey, can you guys not charge your Teslas? So keep that in mind too. So Toyota Camry is listed at $26,320 and higher. So, supply chain tweaks. Analysts said Tesla may have tweaked its battery supply chain to meet both battery mineral and battery component requirements for federal subsidy. Tesla may have dropped a CATL in favor of Panasonic for US-made Model 3 rear-wheel drive, the cheapest version, benchmark mineral intelligence analyst Casper Ross said. The subsidy value would by far outpace the savings of using cheaper iron-based cells used by CATL, he said. It is highly likely it is Panasonic, but there may be some concerns around cell availability if they need to supply enough for all US Model 3s, he said. Tesla used CATL's LFP battery cells for its Model 3 rear-wheel drive and nickel-based cells from an unidentified supplier for its Model 3 long-range, analysts said. Panasonic has a battery cell factory in Nevada, meeting federal requirements on local battery components. CATL and other suppliers like LG Energy Solution do not have factories to make Tesla cells in the United States. And when asked about Tesla and whether there had been a change in supply arrangements to North America, CATL said the strategic partnership between the company and customers has not changed and will continue to deepen and improve. Tesla may have switched to manufacturing those battery packs in the U.S., while still using Chinese cells, Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jones said. Interesting. Let's see some of these comments. Do they throw in a couple fire extinguishers? The thing is, I've heard that the battery fires that happen with Tesla cars are actually horrendous, right? Where you have to basically let it burn apparently, which is super dangerous, right? So imagine basically like a live bomb just getting burnt like constantly until it burns itself out. This is crazy. I like Musk, but I would rather have the Camry, honestly. 15,000 in subsidies. The base price of a Nissan Versa is 15,830. I could afford a new car if someone would give me 15,000, and it would not be burning through $20 of gas every time I drive my pickup. Why do the elites get 15,000? Considering the average price for a new car is 48,000, I don't think a 40 car with a 15K in incentives is for the elites. The thing is, what's kind of interesting is that if people want a cheap car, you just have to basically be not picky, right? So let's see. There is a car that exists. Well, a couple cars, right? This person said a Nissan Versa. That's one. But there's also something called the Mitsubishi Mirage, which is a very, very cheap car. And because it's a Mitsubishi car, there's a lot of Mitsubishi dealerships that are closing down where their cars end up getting sold for wholesale to like local dealers or local resellers. So you could potentially get a very cheap car that's brand new that could potentially get 40, maybe even close to 50 miles to the gallon for like beyond cheap. Like there was a situation, I think like a year ago, 2 years ago, it was a while ago, where I stumbled upon this car that was brand new. It was a Mitsubishi Mirage, and I technically could have bought a brand new car for like 10K with like no miles on it. Never been driven, 10K, which is crazy. And also, I have a family member that has a Mitsubishi Mirage, an older one, that averages about like 45 on the highway, which is pretty insane. But the problem with buying those types of cars is like you really can't be picky because it is the most basic of basic car. So if you just need a car for like point A to point B, which is basically like the Nissan Versa, the Mitsubishi Mirage, or these other lower tiered cars from these dealerships, they're basically the base models where you still might have to roll up the window. Even if it's a brand new car, you still probably have to roll up the window, right? So you got to be willing to not be picky to get a cheap car that might be brand new, right? Let's see. Tax break or not, ain't nobody helping me out 8 or 10 years when the battery's dead. Not taking any debt on this late in life for a climate car. You shouldn't be taking out debt for basically any reason other than pretty much buying a home. Yeah, pretty crazy though. So let's see. Hold on. Tesla.com. So 7,500 tax credit available for all new Model 3 and Model Y vehicles. Okay. So let's see. So menu Model 3, right? Let's do order now. Let's do the cheapest one. I guess just Model 3. Okay. So the potential savings. Enhanced autopilot, no. Full self-driving capability, no. Charging, probably you'd need to continue to payment. So, for your Model 3, the most basic model, right? Let's see, if you were to buy it in cash, which is the only way that I suggest people to buy a car, right? Would be for $41,880. But you'd get this $7,500 federal tax credit, which is interesting. So what? $27,940 after potential savings? Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. So this is how they're basically getting the discount to break it down, right? Without the California rebate. So for cash, you have the vehicle price at $40,240. You got the federal tax credit of $7,500. Then they're estimating of a 6-year gas savings, $4,800. So the price after potential savings, $27,940. but you still got the destination fee, right? Or you could do the lease, which is a very dumb way to do it, right? But you could get it for $362 per month, which the thing is, people are so obsessed with monthly payments that they would be willing to do this. They would be willing to lease a Tesla. And then you get the loan amount, which would be $440 per month. So that's pretty interesting. But to me, the only way where buying a Tesla makes justifiable sense, right, is one, if you want it or not. Two, if you're making about $80,000 a year after tax, right? That's the only way that I could really see you justifying buying this Tesla. And then three, if you're someone who drives constantly. And by constantly, I mean basically about like, what's the range on this car? Let's see. So the range on this one is 272 miles, right? If you're driving almost the max range of this car, like on a daily basis, like let's say that you have an hour commute to work and an hour commute back, and maybe everything like around you is like 30 minutes away, then it might make more sense to actually buy like a Tesla Model 3 with this rebate because the amount of gas that you're saving is just so high that it might be financially worth it, even if this car basically breaks down after 10 years, just because you're saving so much money on gas. But you got to factor that in, right? Like, it's pretty sad when you really think about it. It's definitely not for everyone, but it might be worth it to you.